In clean energy, the Philippine mega conglomerate Ayala's listed unit ACEN is leading the charge in Southeast Asia. It is already one of the largest renewables platforms in that part of the world, growing its green energy business by about 6 times in the last 3 years. ACEN also has a presence in a number of Asian markets, including the Philippines, Vietnam, Australia, and also India. The company recently issued its first ASEAN or Southeast Asian fixed-rate green bonds worth 10 billion pesos. The offering oversubscribed by more than 8 times, reflecting strong interest and demand for assets like that. For more, Eric Francia is president and CEO at ACEN'S. He joins us live from down in the Philippine capital, Manila. Eric, great to see you, and hope you're keeping safe where you are. So you raised a fair bit of money with these bonds. What kind of yield do investors get, one? And how do your bonds work? Are they pegged to or benchmarked to performance in terms of less greenhouse gases or cleaner operations? How do they work?
Yeah, Martin, this is classified as a green bond. So 100% of the proceeds will go to support our renewable energy investments. It is our maiden peso bond, 10 billion pesos. As you mentioned, it's 8.7 times oversubscribed, very strong demand domestically. The rate is just 35 basis points spread over government treasury. So we priced it about 6.05%. We were fortunate enough to catch the window where there was a little bit of dip in the interest rates a couple of months ago. Right now, government treasuries are already over and above the 6.05. But yeah, it's not a sustainability-linked bond. We have yet to issue the first sustainability-linked, which, to your point, is tied to specific metrics. But the key metric here is 100% of the proceeds go against our investment on renewable projects.
All right, a little over 6%. What's the tenor on the bonds?
5 years.
5 years, got it. Okay.
Eric, how do you address the issue of greenwashing, and how do you convince investors that the underlying renewable assets are truly sustainable, and how do you set in place the accounting standards and the verification methodology that would go some way in addressing or placating these greenwashing issues and concerns?
Sure. Well, investments in renewables are typically the most straightforward in terms of sustainable linked investments. It is unequivocally green. But on top of that, apart from the natural environment benefits, we make sure that we work together with the community. So we also address the key ESG related issues. So we incorporate that into all of our projects in the Philippines and around the region. Also, interestingly, from a portfolio perspective, ACEN committed to become 100% renewable energy generation by 2025. We still have around a little over 30% of our portfolio exposed to thermal, including coal. But we recently also have gotten investors in this unique, first-in-the-world energy transition mechanism, where we have not only divested or in the process of divesting our only coal plant remaining in our portfolio in ACEN, but also we've committed to retire the coal plant earlier than its technical life. Coal plants usually live until 50 years old. We committed to make it live only until 25 years old. And we were able to get investors and recycle the capital that we raised from the EPM to support also our renewable energy investments.
I really wanted to ask you about that. You would have to have a very determined, steely resolve, wouldn't you, in an environment where fossil fuel prices and coal, for that matter, they're all making a comeback because of the energy crisis. How challenging has it been then to decarbonize the portfolio at ACEN?
It's been quite challenging, Sri. In fact, this year has been a very tough year for ACEN because of our remaining reliance. As I mentioned, we're still reliant on about 30% from fossil fuel, and as an input cost to our power, with rocketing prices, it put pressure on our margins. So having said that, we are more than doubling our renewable portfolio from 2,000 megawatts of operating assets today around the region. We are increasing this by 2.25 times to 4,500 megawatts. So we're currently constructing 1,500 megawatts of renewables in Philippines, Australia, and India. And the board recently approved another 1,000 megawatts. So we will more than double our renewables, and this will lower our cost and reduce our reliance on expensive fossil fuel.
And you seem to have got a vote of confidence from investors, hence the oversubscription of the bond issue.
Absolutely.
Eric, we'll leave it there, sir. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. Eric Francia there, President and CEO at ACEN. We're off for a quick break. Back in 2 minutes.